we are going to be talking about the live-action version of How to Train Your Dragon. Now, if you have seen the animated versions, or version of the original, there are no spoilers in this. If you haven't and you want to avoid anything, then there are some spoilers, so please don't watch on. So the story revolves around a boy named Hiccup, who happens to be the son of the chief. Now, the island Berk, the whole society revolves around their hatred of dragons, which has been going on since probably far before they can remember, and for probably very different reasons as well. But it's very important to them. They don't want their livestock taken. I mean, that bit's understandable. Kind of not off to a great start when it comes to relations between the two species. But Hiccup, who's quite weedy, not much of a warrior, and basically the whole thing revolves largely around, oh, I want to be one of you, or I want to get my father's approval and be a true warrior. Well, he's weedy, he's not very strong, he's really got a brain. I mean, they sell his brain from the start. I mean, they're not actually making out that he's dumb. I mean, okay, not very emotionally intelligent because he's trying to get himself killed, and thus their friendship begins. Now, this is probably one of the easiest reviews I've had to do because they didn't change anything from the animated version to the live-action version, which is absolutely fine. I mean, I did a Lilo and Stitch review. I've done a few others of like remakes, and they've either tried to add too much in or they've taken bits away. This was done well. Like, it was seamless in terms of the animation. Toothless looked exactly the same as you saw him in the animated version. Some of the other dragons, they made a difference with how they looked, but in a way that fit with dealing with real life humans. It was just, yeah, the animation and the cinematography were really good in this. Also, shout out to them casting Nick Frost, because that just works in any film. No film could be worse off for him being in it. And they had like different things, like Hiccup basically was just outsmarting everyone when it came. I mean, the engineering for a start, fixing a dragon's wing with like no, I mean, could they fly anyway? Did anyone know how to fly before? No, nobody mentioned that. But he did it as a child. Very kind as well, worked at animal behaviourist. So he's an animal behaviourist, he's an engineer, but he's not good enough because he's not a warrior, allegedly. But it was so satisfying to see him outsmart everyone. And actually the arena training was really cool. That was done really well. I remember enjoying that in the anime. I didn't watch the animated just before to see how I felt about this on its own, but they did a good job with the arena training because you had to crown your ultimate champion for the youngsters in there. Oh boy, I watched too much Cobra Kai. I was under 18 karate tournament. This was the equivalent of the under 18s karate tournament, except the whole of society revolves around this, not just the valley or the island of Berk in this case. But it was satisfying watching Hiccup just run circles around everyone. Now Astrid, she was done really well. I like the fact that she went from hostile to really confused when she realised that, wait, this guy's different, what's going on, to being kidnapped, and then going, I guess dragons are all right. All of my beliefs that I've heard my whole life and been taught to me, and I know everyone's going to hate me for it, but yeah, one dragon ride where I was forced to do it, that'll do the trick. They actually did a good job of this because there is limited time to get it over. I thought the transitions were good, and she was very likeable by the time she should have been likeable. But not as a criticism, I just think that Stoic, so the chief, so Hiccup's father, he came off worse than I remembered him in the animation, as in just harsher it felt like. Maybe it's the fact that it was an actor as opposed to just a voice actor with animation. But could be body language, could be lots of things, but he came off way worse. And in the end, even when he's like, I'm so proud of you, it's like, you're way better than your father. Like, this guy would have held you down, like, screw that guy. It's just, I don't know. Obviously happy that Hiccup was happy. He's meant to be a nice, empathetic person anyway, so even if you took the route that I was saying, it doesn't really fit with his character. So, yeah. And who doesn't like Toothless? Like I said, the animation for Toothless was great. They pretty much followed the formula of how Toothless came to like Hiccup and actually trust him. Why fix what ain't broken? And ultimately just Hiccup having emotional intelligence. I mean, actually, I think that Toothless had just as much emotional intelligence because the crossover with the two of them was really good. I mean, all the dragons seem to have more emotional intelligence than the villagers were led to believe, because the villagers didn't have any emotional intelligence. That's not actually a very high bar, so that might be a bit insulting to the dragons. However, final boss fight, which they actually found the fabled Dragon Island, thanks to Hiccup, which his father seemed to not really care about. The thing they'd all been trying to do, their aim on their terms, nope, okay, nope, we don't give any credit for that. That was shot really well as well. Like, it was a cool final boss fight, like quick purple blast fire, beating the evil dragon that happened to be controlling all the other dragons. What more do you want? I mean, I'm playing Skyrim at the moment, and that dragon on dragon action is really poor. I think they could watch How to Train Your Dragon and actually learn something from it. I will just add that It was same with the animation. It's not a big deal. It's just a thing. Everybody suddenly accepts dragons as soon as Hiccup wakes up from his injury. How long was he out for? Like, was he out for a year, half a year? It just sold us a few days. They're like, oh, well, we all went back on dragons. I mean, at least they said, hey, guess what? We had no ships to get home, so what did we have to lose at that point? Dragon rides or swim and get swallowed by the sea? But it doesn't matter, it's How to Train Your Dragon, who cares? Importantly though, this is the actual important bit, the fact that they have the same injury basically, Hiccup and Toothless, it really adds a lot to it. It's bizarre to say, I mean, you're not rooting from the final boss fight for Hiccup to get a maiming, life-changing injury, but at the same time, it adds to their bond. So, I mean, they did in the animation, you couldn't not do it here, but it just adds to their relationship. Anything that adds to their relationship is good, even losing a limb. You know what? I'd lose a limb to gain a dragon, so good deal. As I said, they got the tone right. Everything looked visually great. Sometimes when they put it into live action, it can look really weird by comparison. They got all of that right. They got the emotions right because obviously the villagers had to go through the we still hate dragons. Toothless is trying to save Hiccup. Their bond is the key thing. I mean, Hiccup and Toothless, their relationship's more important than his father. Just bin your father. Just, you know, if he hadn't have accepted it, just go with Toothless. Everyone would have agreed with that. But it's just a load of fun with Vikings and dragons. What more do you want? You're going to enjoy it. Let me know what you think, whether you agree with me, don't agree with me. Please like, subscribe, comment. I had a really good time watching this. This took me back to 2010. I feel so old now that I'm saying back to 2010. Oh boy. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. All that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you later.